Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to the series of podcast Roadmap for Acing SSCE Examination. We all know that Grade 12 board examinations are set to begin soon, and we would all want to know how to attempt the business studies paper. For this, today we have with us Ms. Mamta Balla, Faculty of Commerce, Delhi Public School, Bangalore East. With more than 20 years of experience as an educator, she is here with us today to discuss some important and useful tips to solve the paper. Ma'am, beginning with, can you tell us some tips and tricks to attempt the paper?
Hello, everyone. So, business studies is a very scoring subject if we attempt the paper properly. I'm sure you all must have read NCRT and you must have practiced case studies and competency-based questions from the reference books. So, here are certain guidelines which should be followed while attempting the paper. So, first is the reading time. 3 hours of writing and 15 minutes of reading is given to attempt the paper. Utilize the reading time very effectively. Review the question paper, plan your approach, and how to attempt the questions, how much time to be given for every section. All that you can do during the reading time. Write concisely and legibly. Your answers should be precise and clear. They should be relevant to the questions. Then ensure that each response clearly specifies the question number and sub-question number. So whatever is given in the question paper, that question number only you need to mention in your answer booklet. Attempt all the questions. I repeat, attempt all the questions. Wherever there is a choice to be made between two questions, then attempt the question which you are most confident about. Don't attempt both the questions, just attempt the question which you think you can write the best. For multiple choice questions, we get 20 multiple choice questions in the paper. For that, what your approach should be, you should not write only the option A, B, C, D. Along with that, you should write the answer as well. Attempt all the questions in a sequence. When I say sequence, that means either you can start from question number 1 and go till question number 34, or you can start from question number 34 and finish till question number 1. So that the paper has to go in a sequence. Then another very important part where children go wrong is that when you are attempting the parts of a question, they should be done in a sequence. If there are 3 parts or 2 parts of a question, don't attempt one part here and one part there. You need to attempt them in one order. One, and second, if you think like you're not sure about the answer of a question, then you can leave the space for that and come back later and write that answer, but don't attempt 2 parts somewhere else. Make flowcharts and diagrams wherever it is required for better presentation of your answer. So basically, you have to make sure that the examiner sees the value points and the key points that you have written in your answer.
Thank you, ma'am. Children need to complete a set number of questions within 3 hours. Could you throw some light on how to manage their time effectively?
Yes, time management is very important. So we know that a business studies paper has 34 questions and the duration is 3 hours apart from 15 minutes of reading time. So writing time is 3 hours. So there are 20 MCQs in the paper. So you can roughly give 25 minutes to attempt those 20 MCQs. Then 4 questions of 3 marks each, that is total 12 marks questions, will be 3 markers. For that, you can give roughly 30 minutes. Then 6 questions of 4 marks each are there. So for that, you can keep 60 minutes. That's roughly 10 minutes for every 4 markers. So it's not that you keep calculating the time all the time, but while attempting the paper, but just make sure that roughly that much time you attempt on a particular section. Then you have 4 questions of 6 marks each. For that, you should give roughly 50 minutes. And then once you finish the paper, you should be left with 10 to 15 minutes. Like if you follow this time allocation, then you'll be left with around 10 to 15 minutes and you can utilize those 15 minutes in rechecking your paper, revising the paper. Sometimes, while attempting the paper, something goes wrong. So you have to make sure that all the answers are correct. Just review the paper once.
Time management is such a valuable skill, and it's great that your guidance will help them to complete their paper effectively. Your next question, ma'am. Business studies paper contains more of competency and case-based questions. Could you provide some guidelines on how to approach these questions?
So as we know, 60% of business studies paper, it contains case studies and competency-based questions. So there are few guidelines, few points that you need to keep in mind while solving the case studies. So basically, children get confused between comprehension and case studies. So case study is not to be solved the way we solve comprehension. Comprehension is simply you read the text and then you answer the question based on what is given in the text, right? But in the case studies, the approach should be read the case thoroughly and then you relate that with the concepts, theoretical concepts that you have studied in the class or that's given in your curriculum. Okay, so if you won't relate the points given in the case with the theoretical concept, you will not be able to score marks, right? So basically what we have to do, we have to frame our answers considering the theoretical concept and the information given in the case. We have to relate both. So once you read the case, just first thing is try to find out from which chapter that particular case has come. And then you find out the concept with which that case is related. And then you answer the questions which are given with the case. Another thing, so sometimes it's always better to quote lines from the case to support your answer, to support the points. And wherever keywords are there, value points are there, please do underline them. So this way you'll be able to perform case studies. You'll be able to get better marks in case studies.
Case studies can sometimes feel challenging, but with the right approach, they become much more manageable. Thank you so much, ma'am. Your expertise has truly been eye opening, and I'm sure our listeners are walking away with some great ideas and inspirations to score better in the upcoming exam.
Thank you so much and all the best, children. I'm sure with all these tips and guidelines, you'll be able to score very good marks and do well in your business studies exam. Thank you.